Whoa! Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
And all that stuff, and who's up for adoption, and everything going on at Woods. We need to take care of some fantasy football business. We got our draft.
Wait, did you guys play my intro music?
No, what is your intro music?
It's The Champ is Here. Here, I'll send it to you.
No, you don't have to send me anything. It'll be a waste of yours and my time.
We can also do the montage music from the Karate Kid.
So, not this weekend, but next weekend we're talking about doing our fantasy football draft, but with the Rona and everything, everybody's, a little hesitant at the beginning. Then we find out people do want to have a draft party, and then the guy that throws our draft party, who's thrown it since the inception, throws the most amazing parties ever. Yeah, and we've talked about that. But the timing of his draft party this year, because of his schedule, is not going to work. So I'm really upset because he wants to do a Sunday night at 6:00, and we know this thing takes like 3 hours.
But the Master Deflators, being the premier football league, I like to call it La Liga.
I'll listen to it. La Liga.
Being the premier football league that it is, and when it comes to fantasy, somebody stepped up, and we have backup plans. And I know that it's a big deal to have a pool there. I don't know why. You're the only person I've ever seen swim in the pool, Jeremy.
Jeremy cannonballed that.
Yeah. No, there was a couple of people that got in the pool last year. Steve, I thought you got in the pool.
I think I put my feet in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were in jorts.
Once you had the Speedo on, dude, I was a little uncomfortable.
That was not a Speedo.
But
I've just put on a few pounds back.
Matt Janetsky, the guy that always gives Coach Lee a run for his money and named that classic rock tune, he has stepped up, and he has said that he will host a party at a time that is more conducive for everybody.
It's Saturday, any time on Saturday. Yeah, I guess he does.
He does have a pool.
He does. We don't know what it looks like.
Lives in Slow. It could be cold, but he has a pool.
Yeah.
It could be smoky. Hopefully not. Okay. So we all agree Sunday 6:00 at night is a little late, right? Even though it's the best party that we're going to forego the best party ever.
Well, you don't know that. What if Matt blows you away with the expectations?
Yeah, he can.
You like to do with what's comfortable to you. That's what your life is all about.
No, it's not comfortable to drive to Paso from AG.
Well,
Same vacation.
I actually concur with Jeff on that one. I mean, you do like to exist in your comfort zone, buddy.
He goes on the same vacations every year. Goes to 3 places: Mexico, Lake Havasu, and Idaho. Every year for the last 10 years.
We understand, Jeremy. I mean, you get nervous, right? We just want to make you feel comfortable, buddy.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm very busy.
Because when you get nervous, you start to sweat, and things happen, bud.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing because last year I was too comfortable. I drank too much, and then that showed in the results of finishing second to last place
by like the 6th round.
But you know what? Amazing foresight, because I did get Minshew in your drunken stupor in the last round. Drafted the starting quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars and Gardner Minshew.
But he wasn't starting at the time, but he went in week number 2.
You were looking like a genius when Nick Foles broke his collarbone. People were like, whoa, Jeremy got a hit out on Nick Foles?
So, okay, good. So, all right, very nice.
You had it in you, buddy.
Yeah. How are the animals doing? I mean, most of the animals at Woods, pretty much all of them are inside, correct? They don't stay outside. You take them outside, but their facilities are inside, so they're safe from the smoke, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially the cats. The canine kennels, they do have a little more porous environment, I guess I should say, and they got to get outside for a little bit. But I'm actually really glad you brought that up, because that's something that I think is really important. Pet owners are taking consideration of, especially today. I was looking at the air quality report today, and it's supposed to be really dangerous for us as humans, but also it's important to think of our pets as well.
So it does affect the pets the same way.
Absolutely. I mean, they're breathing the same air. And upper respiratory problems. I mean, that can affect everybody. So
they have smaller lungs.
Yeah, especially, I would say, especially dogs with kind of like the smushed faces, or animals with the smushed faces, they're going to run into more of those breathing issues. So just today, keep the animals inside. I have my whole house I've battened down the hatches. I've taken all that toilet paper I've been hoarding, and I've stuffed it in all the cracks, and it's covering all my windows and everything. So I feel safe, but you're going to want to make sure to.
Steve only has a fish.
This is what, by the way, Steve, this is what too much time at home has led to.
Stuffing toilet paper in your crack?
Oh, what could I do? Well, it's smoky outside. Let me go ahead and put some toilet paper in the cracks of my windowsills.
Yeah.
You got to keep safe. Isn't that what you're supposed to do with it?
And you got
That's
to
why
keep
everybody
busy.
was hoarding it.
You got to keep safe, and you got to keep busy. So
Yeah. Seriously,
you're accomplishing
it's
both.
really important that we take this into consideration. Just hit that pause button today, and if you can keep your animals inside, by all means, please do. When we talk about the heat, though, that's another issue. You know, that the temperatures keep spiking all over the county, and that affects our animals as well. So if you're taking your animals outside, you're going to want to make sure you're paying attention to that temperature of the asphalt or the concrete. And I mean, in the heat of the day, you're going to want to stay inside. Keep your animals inside as well. Make sure they have fresh water. If your animals have to be outside, then make sure you are providing them a cool, cold place possibly to retire to. So maybe let them into the garage where they have a little colder concrete to lay on and so forth. But if all possible, please keep your animals inside, especially while the air quality is so terrible. We want to protect our kids. We want to protect our animals too, and ourselves.
I have a pet question for you, okay?
I probably just had one.
Well, another pet question.
Another one, okay.
Yeah. So my garage is not insulated or sealed off, like too much. Like it's smoky when I go in my garage. I can smell the smoke when I go in my garage. But my cat loves the warm temperatures because it's not insulated, loves the warm temperatures of the garage and just hangs out in the garage. We got a little setup for her in the garage. Is that okay? I mean, one, it's like 115 in there, and two, it's smoky.
Your cat's weird. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Like she longs to be in that hot. I think it's because maybe she came from hell. I don't know. Like
it's like little Nicky.
She is a little tyrant, but she longs to be in there. Is that okay? I mean, we keep an eye on her. We make sure to check on her every 15 minutes. And
she keeps a lot of water out there.
She's just in there laying down on the ground. Like, yeah, this is my. She wants to be in a
like that feeling. Yeah, I
smoky,
think as
warm
long as
place.
you're giving them the opportunity to go where they're comfortable, that's all you need to do.
Are you guys like me and have no desire to eat any smoked meat at all right now? Because
I was actually just going to leave some tri-tip on my roof.
I had some Cheetos yesterday, and I thought they were smoked.
Put some salmon up there, I figure if I let it sit up there for the day, I mean, it'll get a nice smoky flavor
that's
to
true.
it. Right?
I've had bratwurst sitting in my fridge, thawed out. I took it out on Sunday. And yeah, it's just been sitting there all week because I can't even imagine like adding more smoke to the
Everything is smoked right now.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to Mexico and everything tastes like tequila. Right now, everything tastes like brisket.
WinChumane.org is the website. You can find out pets. You can also donate, and which Steve, you were telling us a little bit about that last week. You should talk more about that again. The board matching. You got a good match program going on right now.
Yeah, we do. We have a community match going on right now, and our generous board of directors is supporting it, where they're matching dollar for dollar what we're raising. So that means if you come in and you're able to give $20, they'll match it. You are actually donating $40. It means if you can give $20 million, I don't think the board's going to match that. I know they wish they could. But you know what? If you can give $20 million, we'll be set. So you are, if you want to become the patron saint of homeless animals, then definitely give what you can give is what I'm doing.
I noticed you have this Great Pyrenees captain. He's been sitting there for a while, and I've seen him on social media. He just looks like such a great dog.
We have a lot of great dogs, and this is one of those situations where we're just doing everything we can to make sure that the dog goes to an appropriate home. And a lot of times folks need to do some breed research and find out what they're getting into when they adopt an animal. And I'm not saying just one individual animal, but all of the animals. So when you're looking at a Great Pyrenees, there are certain things that come along with that breed. The thing about Captain, he's going to bond really tight with his humans. He's going to want to protect that perimeter. He loves going on short walks. He's a bigger, hairier dog, so he's not going to need, as those long miles of run and everything. But he does have, his quirks, and we will find that loving home for this dog. He definitely can't go to home with cats or livestock, but that's part of kind of, or even like chickens and so forth. He's a Great Pyrenees. He has his quirks, is what I'm getting to. But if you want to find information about him, by all means, please go to our website at woodshumane.org. If you hit that Adopt a Pet link, in fact, I'm actually moving Captain over to be our pet of the week, so he'll be on our homepage in about an hour. But if you go to his adoption page, there's a really great video of him. You can see him not live, of course, but you can see him via the video. But if you're interested in learning more about him, please give us a call out at the shelter. And that's how we're actually handling all of our adoptions right now. When folks go online, they see an animal they're interested in, they call us up, they set up an adoption appointment where they come out to the shelter. It's almost like a matchmaking kind of situation. They come out, it's one-on-one with that animal and with an adoption counselor, and hopefully be able to take those animals home. And it's been working pretty effectively. I could see us, I don't know if we're going to be maintaining these adoptions forever, as far as those appointments go. But we'll have to see. It's kind of the industry trend, though, that's happened with animal sheltering to be able to maintain effective operations at shelters across the state, across the country, as we're dealing with this pandemic. These adoption appointments have been pretty successful. And I think there's another side of these where it's more of an intimate matchmaking experience, I feel, for that potential adopter, where they really have that one-on-one time with that adoption counselor, one-on-one time with that animal. We're seeing a lot more of these adoptions stick, and we're seeing a lot less of these animals coming back because of those conversations that are taking place, just kind of the way the system is set up. So it's been effective. The downside is that we are limited to how many of these adoption appointments we can do on any given day. So, historically, guys, we've had big adoption blowout events, big adopt-a-thons and so forth, where we have 100 people walking through the shelter. Well, that's not the case anymore. So we'll have to see kind of how things evolve, how things change, and especially how our population changes too. For example, right now we are working with pretty much working with shelters all over the state right now. We're communicating on how to address these fires and how to address communities and municipalities that are really impacted by these fires. A lot of shelters are going to be logistically moving animals around where, for example, Woods is a receiving shelter where we can reach out and we'll say, maybe a shelter up in Monterey or Santa Cruz, we'll be able to transfer animals down that are already in the shelter system. Whenever these emergency transports happen, we're not taking animals that are displaced. What we're doing is we're taking animals that are already in the shelter system to create room for those displaced animals.
So they can get reunited or whatever the case is. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So we'll be looking for new animals coming into Woods, woodshumane.org, Facebook, Twitter. They're on Pinterest, Woods Humane Society. And we wish you all the best. And YouTube. Don't forget YouTube. Go check out Captain. He is a great-looking dog. We'll talk to you soon, Steve.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.
Ben Affleck has agreed to return as Bruce Wayne.
He's not Batman.
In the Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Not my Batman. You know how people like to say, not my president? Not my Batman. Ben Affleck is not my Batman.
He'll also be hanging out with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton will make an appearance in this as a aged Batman.
Oh, so there's multiple Batmans
Yeah,
now?
so they're going through some sort of, time warp or something where you're going to see...
and once again,
Batman
Val
is
Kilmer
an older
gets the
Batman.
shaft. Val Kilmer gets the shaft. Was he invited to come in on the Top Gun reboot? No. Or was he? I don't know.
Was Val Kilmer Batman?
Val Kilmer was Batman too, after Michael Keaton.
Oh, wow. I guess that does sound kind of familiar, but I don't quite remember that. Anyways.
Ben Affleck
yes.
is a jackass.
Miss Carol.
Tim Keaton, Carol.
Yeah.
Love it.
Who is the best Batman of all time? Is it
Keaton?
Is it Keaton? I thought he was. I'm Batman.
Dude, he was awesome. He's awesome at everything. There's not been a role that I've ever seen Michael Keaton in that I'm like, man, that movie sucked. He's amazing. I love Michael Keaton.
The Rolling Stones, hashtag highest paid 2019. They racked in $65 million. Rolling Stones, I mean, God, they're in their 70s. They just released a new single, I don't know, a few months back. They're still making music. They've got other music they're going to release. And they were the highest grossing band last year. They beat Ariana Grande. 2019.
2020.
2019.
Oh, the report I saw was 2020. Because they had a tour going on before everything got
highest
shut
paid
down.
musicians of 2019.
Oh, okay. Good for them.
If you want, I'll give you the link. It's Billboard. Anyways, Ariana Grande came in number 2, and then Elton John at number 3, followed by the Jonas Brothers. How do they even make the conversation?
I don't understand why we would get this report in August. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't we get this report like in February? Does it take them that long to crunch those numbers?
It's the Rona, man.
Okay. Do you want to know 2020s, according to Forbes?
But 2020, we're only halfway through.
Yeah, but, I mean, really, let's face it. Who's going to be making any money?
Did anybody make any money in 2020? I mean, they shut it down in March.
The Rolling Stones are on that list. They are 9th on that list in 2020. You know who's made the most in 2020?
Music act?
Music act.
It's probably one of these pop...
According to Forbes.
Pop rap hoes.
I'll give you one clue. He's running for president. Do you not know who it is?
Well, it's either Donald Trump or Joe Biden.
Do you need another clue? Has a place in Wyoming. Do you want another clue? Currently on a secret vacation with his wife to save his marriage.
Are you saying that he's not currently running for president anymore, but he did run for president?
He's running for president. He's running for president. He's a musician. Fourth clue. Built homeless encampments in Calabasas.
Is he running? Is he running
unpermitted.
Is he running for president?
He's on the ballot in some states.
Oh, okay.
So yes, he is running for president in some states. He made $170 million this year. Doing what? I don't know. Kanye West. More than doubled what Elton John took in 2020
in a month and a half, in 2 months, in January and February, 2.5 months, I would say.
Let's be fair. I don't know.
People are texting in. Yes, you're right. Ben says, "Please bring Carol back." Well, we can't bring her back. We don't know what happened to her.
Ben Affleck is a check.
And last but not least, this coming from the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Kansas City Chiefs are announcing new policies for fans.
The team says the new policies come after consulting with local leaders from American Indian backgrounds. Fans are now prohibited from wearing headdresses. Face painting is allowed, but any face paint referencing American Indian cultures will be prohibited. The team says it is also reviewing the use of the arrowhead chop.
I mean, listen, how do you manage that in a stadium full of 100,000 people? You can't. You can't manage it. But I guess if somebody's wearing a headdress, they could come up and tell you to take it off or try to confiscate it. They can put the paint on before you get there. Like they don't let you in, but you can't stop them from doing a chant. You just can't. But I guess this is the new normal. This is, Black Lives Matters, which means, Native American Lives Matters.
Oh, okay.
Because you think about it, the Washington Redskins were still the Washington Redskins until Black Lives Matter protests started. And then they're like, all of a sudden, flip the switch.
Well, I mean, he's been under scrutiny for years.
That was the final straw?
Yeah, that was the final straw. He's like, well, okay, I guess I'll change the name of the franchise now.
Somebody wrote in, what happened to the Tiger King? Well, he's still in prison, and he's trying to get out so he can help find Carol Baskin's former husband, who a lot of people think were fed to the Tigers.
Are you angry that the Washington football team is no longer called?
No.
Okay.
No, I just
because you started screaming about it, and I was like, it's kind of a weird stance.
It's like, come on, I mean, listen, you fought it for this long, and then you just rolled over.
Well, yeah,
but now everybody
you knew that was going to happen.
Everybody's rolling over. Everybody's sensitive. I mean, the Dixie Chicks took Dixie out of their name. Now they're just the Chicks.
Oh.
Who was it? There was another one, which I don't understand because I'm not into country music and I haven't had a chance to look into it yet. But there was Lady Antebellum. They're just Lady A now.
If you want to find Jeremy this weekend, just look for him sitting in a white T-shirt. Just drive around the 5 cities, look for a guy
in a wife beater
with a
wife beater
with the wife beater on, and he is watering the lawn without an attachment, just with his thumb on a hose, and likely
drinking a beer,
a cheap beer, likely a Milwaukee's Best or something with
Natty Light,
Milwaukee in the name.
Natty Light, number 1 in the 5 cities.
Milwaukee or Milwaukee's
when you
Best.
water your glass.
What do you mean Kanye West is the top grossing actor for 2020?
I didn't even know he was performing. I thought he was in a bunker.
I don't know how he made $120 million.
The guy's amazing.
Or no, I'm sorry, $170 million.
Yeah,
how did he do that?
Because he's crazy.
Elton John only made $80 million. It's like, how do you more than double what Elton John made?
KCOZ. It's time to play Know the Show with Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Know the Show brought to you by the Broad Street Public House. They're at 3590 Broad Street in Slow. They got their brand new expanded patio up and running. They've got trouble-free parking, and they've got a great selection of beer, wine, these new gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches on the menu. We got to get Matt to bring those in. Well, we can't actually see anybody. We're on lockdown right now.
I think you keep talking about these grilled cheese sandwiches. I think he has theme nights. I think some nights are grilled cheese sandwich nights.
I know, but I'm sorry. I'm into them.
Some nights are hot dog nights. Some nights are food truck nights.
Did you ever have the grilled cheese incident food truck grilled cheese sandwiches? Have you ever had one of those?
Yeah, I have.
Freaking amazing.
You should follow them on Instagram to find out the latest. Broad Street Public House. Because I don't think it's grilled cheese sandwiches every night. But this morning we need to know, Nate, our winner in the Ride the Lightning, he texted us back in December about something. What was the subject? What was the topic?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Great.
So you heard our conversation with Nate this morning?
Yes.
This should be pretty easy then. What was the last time he corresponded with us in December? What was the subject matter about?
It was about Singing in the Rain,
It was
the musical.
Singing in the Rain in comparison to Showgirls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations. You got $25 to go to the Broad Street Public House.
Didn't you say something
That's
about the
wonderful.
dog?
Thank you.
About the what?
You said it had something to do with the dog, I thought, before the break. I don't know.
Daughter.
Maybe daughter.
Daughter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing.
He said he was it was his daughter's favorite movie.
Yeah.
And I said,
Okay.
good thing it's not Showgirl.
No, I just, as I was out there and I heard daughter, close.
Some people just have dogs. They don't have daughters, but they treat them like their daughters.
Yes, Jeremy.
I have
You have a son.
I have a son. Hold on, Winnie.
Your boy George.
Yeah, my boy George. It's driving me absolutely nuts because he has to stay inside. He's got more energy than he needs.
Does he wear a funny little derby and a shitty
I'm
part
sitting
of his
there,
head?
and he just paces around, and he rubs my leg, and he's underneath me, and he's over me, and he's sitting next to
Is
me.
he panting a lot?
And no,
I have a dog that pants a lot, and I don't know, she's getting old, but
and I'm just like, yeah.
I think maybe just with all the weirdness because it's like, why aren't we going out? And we go to the park, and then we take a shortcut.
Are you trying to say that Jeremy is not enunciating when he's saying his words?
No.
You thought he said dog?
No,
daughter.
Well, it could be a little bit.
Because
we all get lazy at that.
I'm looking to get his buttons pushed this morning.
You're not going to push my buttons. It's Friday.
It's
I'm
too
done
late,
with you.
yeah.
I am done with you.
His body's here. His head's on Lake Lopez.
No, yeah, I'm not going to get out. I mean, oh, gosh, hopefully this
I know.
smoke clears up. People can go
Is that
outside.
good for fish?
What? No, but what about the boat?
Ash in the water,
I
good
saw
for
the
fish?
term smoke taint.
Smoke taint is a thing.
It can mean a totally different thing. It could be a title of a movie if in the right realm.
In wine, they use that smoke taint on the grapes. But if ladybugs get in your wine, then it's ladybug taint. Have you ever tasted ladybug taint?
I don't know. How do you get their legs apart? You
There
ever
you
smell
go.
mothballs?
Right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.